it's time. Oh, now it's time. Time to care for Earth. Oh, it's time. Oh, now it's time. Time to care for
So today we're going to show you how to make hot compost, 18 days, maybe 20, the Berkeley method, hot composting method. So take you through step by step. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the materials, the recipe that we're using here at Gaia Ashram. So we got the straw, the rice straw. This is from the land, it's great. And then we got our manure from the cows, from the neighbor. We have a carbon layer, which is a straw brown, and then we have the nitrogen layer, which is the manure and all kind of fresh greens. So this is yesterday we chipped it. It's already quite warm. This is already kind of composting, so this is ideal. We use pigeon pea, and because we have a lot of it, and cassava. And it's also fresh greens, so we want the kind of fresh, juicy greens to have those microorganisms. They can eat that and enjoy that. And then we got a special offer. We got this nice rice husk biochar charcoal, and now we want to charge it in the compost with microorganisms. So we're just going to add that as a bonus, and this will be great stuff to also as a soil amendment. Yeah, and if you want to see more about the making of this, of the biochar, of the oven, we have a different separate video about that I can link into this video, which is really cool and important. The fish, fermented fish sauce, we could say, and we add it in the compost. That has a lot of microorganisms in here, and then we mix that with a bit of molasses, and then we put it in the water, and then we add it as an inoculant for the compost. We also add some finished compost as well as an inoculant. So that's kind of the ingredients we're using, and we might pick up some different ingredients here and there, so you can play around with making this kind of compost. Yeah. We're gonna layer carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, till we get to about this high. You could say we want about a cubic meter, about a meter high. We want kind of that height because that way it builds up a nice heat. If you go lower, it doesn't maybe generate the heat that we want. And we start with our carbon layer, or our ground layer, which is straw here. And then it's good. Every layer, we add a bit of water, like so. So the next layer is the nitrogen layer. This is our top layer. We'll start with that. And we'll spread it around. It's good to wear gloves for this, actually. We'll add some of these microorganisms from the fish emulsion. So just they got some food here also from the manure, and also then we're wetting it down a bit, so that might help speed up the process. We put another carbon layer, which is basically, for our case, more straw. That's good. Then add a bit of the stuff from here. Maybe that's enough. Leaves, cut, shred it in our shredder. Great. So we'll just add a nice layer of that. This also has some brown in it, but the brown is still young, still fresh, so it has a lot of juiciness to it, which is good. There you go. Some of it is not fully shredded, but it's okay. It should break down. So this is pretty cool stuff. So one problem we have in the tropics is that we have a lot of leaching of nutrients, either because it's too wet or it's too hot, too dry. So generally the nutrients, they don't stay in the soil so much, and everything gets taken up very fast. So we lose nutrients very fast. Biochar or any You can use any kind of, we're using rice husk in this case, but you can use bamboo or wood or other kind of waste materials from agriculture, corn or something like that. But yeah, we burn this at a kind of a slow burn, and then kind of cook it, and then so it keeps its structure. So it's like pure carbon. And the great thing about this carbonated rice husk is that it has a lot of structure in it. So basically, it has tiny little pores and holes where all the tiny bacterial life can kind of house and be in, and be comfortable in. So basically, what we're doing now is we're charging this biochar with the microorganisms and the life and the nutrients by leaving it in a compost for about 2 weeks. So that's quite an essential state. And then this carbon will stay in its form for a very long time, so we won't lose this. And the life will have basically a house to live in for a long time. So in that way, we provide a secure, safe shelter for the microorganisms. Also, this carbon is generally also very good at holding water, retaining water, which is another important thing for the tropics, is that we want to keep holding the moisture so that the soil keeps moist in the dry season and things like that. So yeah, we charge it with the life and also with the water, and then we just mix it with the compost, and that will provide a nice habitat for microorganisms. So we can charge it also with these microorganisms from the fish emulsion. Woohoo! Yeah, that's gonna be great. Yeah. So we're gonna take a little bit, and we're gonna inoculate our compost, because there's a lot of life in here, with this life. So to show the compost where it needs to go, we add a bit of compost just to inoculate. And I'll do a little bit every layer. I mean, it's only handfuls enough. I do a bit more also because we got the biochar here. So there we go. And we add a bit of water, moisture. So we done the composting pile now, and now we just have to wait. We'll cover it. We'll wait for 4 to 5 days for the compost pile to heat up. The microbes start generating a lot of activity, and after 4 or 5 days, it gets very hot, and then we need to turn it to provide air for the microorganisms. If it gets too hot, we can kill the beneficial microorganisms. That's why we want to turn it. And then after that, we turn it every 2 days till about day 18. It will be done by then. The Berkeley method was developed by Professor Rapp from the University of Berkeley. So he did a lot of experimenting and testing to come to this kind of method. And it works really well. So it's a really good way of having compost fast, but we need to put quite a bit of effort in, as you noticed. First of all, you need to have a lot of materials, gather a lot of materials, and then you have to put it together. So it takes quite a bit of effort and time, but the result is that you have good quality compost quite fast. Normally it would take a bit longer. And if we chop the materials smaller, it will go faster even than that. It's a great method, and we really swear by it. If you like our videos, please subscribe by clicking subscribe. Follow us on our Tropical Permaculture YouTube channel. And if you want to hear more about amazing permaculture, practical tropical examples, just follow us. And or come and join us at Gaia Ashram in Thailand. Thank you.
Oh, it's time. Oh, now it's time. Time to care for Earth. Oh, it's time. Oh, now it's time. Time to care for